Okay, so I don't know where I left off. What happened there exactly, but something happened where I was talking and I lost my video. So let's go ahead and continue, and I'll just go quickly back through here. So we've got these painted plank floors, just as we saw. The entryway to the parlor here with this fireplace has been modified. You can tell that it's been expanded in size. The cutout on the flooring shows you where it was originally, and it's been cut back to make this entryway bigger for some reason. I don't know why that is. Here, and look at this. So we've got some settling cracks. Now let me just say, on a wall like this, with the age of this house, this kind of settling is completely, in my opinion, completely acceptable. The only reason why it wouldn't be is if it was something that was progressive, where we looked at it like this today, and then in a month or so it was worse. Probably that's not going to be the case though in a home this old. You're definitely going to get settling though, because we're building on sand, and that's just the nature of building on sand. So anyway, continuing on, as I was saying before, we've got painted plywood in this hall entry area and in the dining room. I'll also have some pretty rough original windows. There's still the single pane windows, but they are original, which is kind of what you want. I see what looks like a little stained glass piece there, and I can't tell, but it looks like that's actually just sitting in there. It does not actually look like it's part of the window. It's just a piece that was dropped down behind the window when the air conditioner was put in. That little AC unit needs to go. That's all I'll say. Some ceiling damage where the sheets of material were put on the ceiling, and the tape that runs along the joints has come up. That would need to be repaired. And this is a big mold spot. Okay, so when you see mold like this on the exterior, you could also find it underneath. So this whole piece probably should be cut out and look at what was going on behind it. Would be probably a good idea. I see water stains on the walls. So I don't understand that, but I'm thinking maybe, that has come in to the wall as well. I'm also seeing some mold down below. So this is the whole wall, I think, probably should come out and get a good look at what's behind it, just to make sure you're not going to have black mold issues in your home. The entryway for this room has been recased, poorly recased. Whether or not this is the original entry size or not, I couldn't tell you, but it sure needs to be trimmed out again. That's the kitchen. We'll get to that in a minute. This little opening here is really probably part of the bathroom. And I'm not sure why it's laid out the way it is, or what you could even do with it. They've put down this sheet vinyl in here, so we don't know what kind of floors are like underneath. They've cut out some of the original casing for the door to the bathroom, and that would need to be, something redone. This casing, in the condition that it's in, probably just needs to be replaced. You could probably get the paint off, but that old lead-based paint like that is a hazard, and so you might find yourself in a position where it's just better to remove it. And why is it cut out here? Maybe there was another piece or pieces that went in these spots. I'm seeing that here in the hallway as well. The door just opened behind me and it startled me, the front door. So the bathroom itself is not large. This downstairs okay, so in the doorway right here, I am feeling some soft spots in the floor, just to let you know. Yeah, right there, pretty soft. That's not just the vinyl. I can feel the material underneath that giving as I put my foot on it. So yeah, you got some under the house issues. The closet to the bathroom is pretty good sized, but not properly laid out. It needs a light. It needs some proper shelving. I mean, it needs some work. But with that size, that's good. This little, you know what, I'd probably take this out, take this little corner out, take this tub out, rip all that tile down, and put a nice big stand-in or walk-in shower in here. You could do quite a lot with that space. And that tub, you know, it'd be great if it was gone, because it's really pretty ugly. The plumbing, it needs work. That valve needs to be replaced. The PVC that's there for the faucet needs to be redone. As you can see, the shower head is pretty shot. The fan is clogged up, and whether it runs or not, I don't know. Let's see here if there's power. Okay, so actually there is power in the house, and it sounds decent. So you maybe not need to do anything. I would just say probably a quick check in the attic to make sure that it actually is venting outside of the house and not into your attic space. The vanity, single sink. Well, you got old linoleum countertop on this. The sink itself looks newer, and the fixture is newer, but the vanity itself is pretty old, and the Formica, I should say, Formica top is also pretty old and not pretty. The door, however, to this bathroom is a solid wood door, and although it's not beautiful, it is probably the nicest door that I've seen so far in the house. I'm seeing cutouts here as well. Look at that. You know, I think they must have just taken something off of the walls in those particular places. Some little connector, decorative connector between the top and the side trim. I'm not sure why. Okay, so this window in the bathroom is a newer double pane aluminum window. And so you don't have the original window in this particular room. You know, I personally prefer the double pane windows, but as a historical property, it might be better if you could put an original window back in there. Also, this window is clear, which means that anybody looking out from that window over there can watch me while I'm here, or while I'm in here. So I don't really like that either. Something needs to be done to, you know, make that glass opaque. That's all. That's my personal opinion. Yeah. Okay, so that floor is soft and it goes back a ways. I think probably an inspection cutout here, just a small one, probably give you an idea of what's going on. And we would be able to get in there and get that taken care of. Here's another interesting tidbit. You'll notice that the floors here are up over the height of this kitchen. Now, maybe this kitchen is an add-on. That's a possibility. And that this is the original back wall. That's a possibility. But it's also a possibility that those floors are built up. And I want to know that. Probably I think this is an add-on. The reason I say that is that the floor height at the stairs is the same as what we've got here. And usually if it's a built up, you would see that, especially like around that bottom step right there. That trim that goes around the bottom is original. And so if this was a built up floor, you would definitely see a different kind of a connection between that bottom step right there and the flooring. Okay, so this is an add-on, that's what I think. And we've got these vinyl stick-on tiles. I know that it looks like stone, but it's not. It's just vinyl stick-on tiles. And some pretty rotten cabinets with a Formica top. You know, this whole kitchen needs to basically, in my opinion, everything in it needs to come out. It all needs to come out. The flooring needs to come out. The cabinets need to come out. Everything needs to come out and have it redone. You've got a nice security bar there for your back door. That's lovely. You also have some updated windows, although they're not properly cased. And So these are double pane windows with the screen. As you can see, they're really filthy. And the way that they're installed is not correct. They need to be, someone needs to come in and correct the windows there. And this one too, which was probably a beautiful window once upon a time, but right now, you know, it's in bad shape and needs to be recased, needs a knob, and needs some work. I would almost say, you know, if you're gonna do the windows, just do all the windows and get it over with. I see an extension cord here. I don't know what this went to, but I don't really like the look of it. Okay, what's up with that? And look at that. Now that's not something you normally see in a GFCI. And that's what this is a GFCI. That thing was on fire. What does that go to? Can't tell. Can't tell what it goes to. I can see the wire coming down in behind the cabinet, but I really don't know where that goes. I don't see, oh wait, it goes around the corner. Here we go. Oh, and to that window AC unit. So, yeah, they plugged a window AC unit into a kitchen outlet. Okay, that usually is supposed to have its own special outlet. I won't go into that. All right. So that is not all of the downstairs. We've still got a little bit more. Let's go ahead and go around the corner into the laundry area here, and we can look at the panel. So we're still looking at the, as an add-on here, the same tile, vinyl stick-down tiles on the floor. There is a newer water heater. Looks good. I like the water heater. Best thing that I've seen in this house so far today, besides the windows. And woo, look at those. Now this is what I'm talking about. If only the original stained glass windows like these were still in the rest of the house. This panel, it's a Siemens panel. It looks okay. It's not super ancient. Definitely newer than the construction of the house. But I can't tell. Let's see, how much service is this? 150 maybe? Well, regardless, at least they have things marked so you can tell what they're for. Whether or not the wiring in this house is good enough for add-ons and updates that need to happen, that would be something for your electrician to look at. But at least this panel looks solid enough that you probably wouldn't need to replace it. Code today says that the main, the big guy here, is actually outside, not inside here, because having an outside cutoff gives the fire department a way to prevent, you know, more issues when there's a house fire. So in any case, just saying, it doesn't really matter at this point. If it's an older panel, it was to code then. Okay, so right. Let's go have a look upstairs. Oh, wait, let's just make sure that we hit everything here first. Dining room, parlor, little bathroom, don't know what this is, area, under the stairs closet. Okay. We looked at those windows, so let's head up the stairs. There used to be anti-slip pads on these painted wood stairs. I'd strip the stairs down. The original wood stairs refinished would be lovely. I certainly would want them back into that original condition. The trim around the stairs is beautiful. The rails on the stairs still in great shape, even though, you know, they need some paint removed and some stain applied. So that looks like a new vent up there. So there's been some AC work done. Also, the sheetrock on the ceiling, as you can see, hasn't been properly taped. And we've got some water stains, which makes me concerned about the condition of the roof. Although, looking at this house from a distance, I'd be concerned about the condition of the roof anyway. We have a secondary panel up here. We'll get to that in just a second. Let's just go ahead and take a left here, though, and hit the bedrooms real quick. We've got a closet immediately to the left of the stairs. Linen closet, by the look of it, needs well, it needs work. Some paint, some fresh shelves, flooring would be lovely. Bedroom number one. Bedroom number one. Okay, so the entryway floor has definitely been raised up. You can see that because the height of this floor is about an inch lower, and this is definitely the original plank flooring that's in here. I don't know what was on the floor that they painted the gray around it, but that's what you got. Ceiling height is a nice 8.5 feet, not quite 9 feet. Same in here. Looks like that's actually about the same through the whole house. But in any case, this bedroom is maybe 12 by 18 would be what I would say. You would be able to fit a king-size bed in here. Barely. If you put the head by that window, the footboard would be pretty close to this wall. And if you put it by that window, there'd be very little space on either side. So queen-size bed, I think, is what would go in here. Maybe a guest room. We got a very small little closet. This closet is maybe 32 by 32 with a shelf and a bar, and that's it. No lights. There is some wiring here. Not sure what this wiring is all about. There's cable, but I don't know what this one is. Maybe it's also cable coming in through the wall. That's a possibility. Okay, so windows. Original sash style windows. They're also in pretty bad shape. The sashes are have rotted, and not completely, but enough that they would need to have some rework done. In other words, replaced. Same with this window here. With these windows open, they sure let in a lot of light, and the view, isn't bad actually out into the yard. Pretty good. And that's the alleyway. We didn't actually go down that alleyway, but there is one, sort of an alleyway here. All right, so continuing. Definitely some paint. You've got some settling that you can see. And as I said before, that kind of thing really doesn't bother me too much as long as it doesn't continue, And I doubt very much that it would continue at this point. This is just an old house, and settling is just part of it. That's what you get. The transom. So there is a transom, and you can see that there's hinges for it. And this guy used to just open up and let a little air in, but it's all been painted shut. So getting that cleaned up, the hinges replaced, and that transom working would really add interesting features to this home. All of the bedrooms have that transom. So this is bedroom number 2. We've got some definite ceiling damage from water here and here. It looks like they've done some work trying to patch things up. This is definitely not original, and what it was they were trying to do, I don't know, but they just basically put some tape and mud on the ceiling and then repainted it. But even after that, we've got staining and some staining on the floors. The rot here from the ceiling has fallen down. The whole top of that window is completely blown out from water. Looks like what's happened is the water is running in the wall down to the top of that trim piece on the window and then down. So the window sill itself is pretty rotted all the way around it. That whole window really need to come out and be replaced. Closet in this bedroom is a little bit bigger than the one in the other bedroom, maybe 4.5, maybe 5 feet by 28 or maybe 30 inches. Also with a bar and a shelf. Needs paint, obviously. This color paint, okay, so personally, I like light walls. I don't really like dark colors like this because dark colors on the wall, unless it's like an accent wall, really brings the overall brightness of the room down. And there's a mood effect that happens with that. The baseboards in here are awesome. I love these 10-inch high trimmed baseboards. Some of this work has been added on later. It's not all original, or if it was, they had some of it removed and then replaced. That does happen sometimes. I'm pretty sure that that's the case though, because the trim is not lined up nicely. It's not square like it should be. There's gaps, in these. And then even with the door trim, it's the same. The window is a French glass door, or the door I should say is a French glass door, not a window. And that's definitely not original equipment. Okay, so lath and plaster underneath all of this, and this is probably sheetrock. In fact, I know it is. I can see the edge of the sheetrock up here. You can look. So that means that this ceiling has been redone at least once since sheetrock came out, and they just put it over the top of the lath, or underneath, whatever you want to say, over the lath and plaster that was there. They took off the plaster and they just used the wood slats there as a material for support. Okay, so the bathroom. We'll get to the master in just a minute. So the upstairs bath, water damage again on the ceiling. You definitely need a roof. We got a clawfoot tub. The tub itself is in beautiful shape, but the fixtures for the tub definitely need to be replaced. Well, I said beautiful shape, but actually looking at the drain, we've got some pretty substantial rusting there at the drain, and I'm not sure if that's something that could be repaired or not. You could take your grinder down and see if you can get down to something. Maybe it's staining, but it definitely looks like it's down to the cast iron where the material that's over the top has come off. We've had some rats. Lots of rat droppings in here. Toilet needs to be replaced. The main thing here that I guess what I want to say about this is that just remember, guys, that this is a renovation. You are definitely going to have to renovate this house. This is not something that you're going to walk in and just do minor work. This is a major project. The window here in this bathroom is an updated double pane glass window, and it looks out over the roof, which might be some kind of a metal roof. Kind of rusty looking, you see that? I'm not sure. And if that roof is metal, then that makes me wonder about what's on the top of this thing. I'd sure like to see the roof at the top. As the window is clear and not opaque, it definitely gives people across the way here in this beautiful house that's next to us the ability to see in what's going on if they wanted to do that. If you're changing out the windows, as I said, I'd just do them all, and then you can put in some nice opaque windows into your bathrooms too. The vanity is... The wind's blowing. Got it. Here's stuff. The vanity is shot. Basically this bathroom, I think, except for possibly saving the clawfoot tub, probably just needs to be gutted and redone. It's not very big, maybe from corner to corner here, 10 feet by 10 feet. You can pull that out and get a regular shower. Not huge in here. Floor is vinyl. Sheet vinyl, and I would want to replace that as well. Mostly what we're looking at is this painted gray board everywhere. So we're walking in to what would be the master, and starting off right away with a little closet. This is another, what is this, about 32 by 32, I'd say, with a bar and a shelf. This main part of the room is a decent size at maybe 18 by 18. That door that's boarded up is the one that goes out to the non-existent deck. We're not going out there because I don't feel like falling. Ceiling needs rework. As you can see, since the ceiling was redone, that there's been issues. We've got settling problems or something where the tape is coming off of the ceiling at the joints or separating. There's tape here too along this line, and it just hasn't pulled off yet. But if you look over here, you can see where the tape is starting to pull away. And that will continue, and then you'll end up with what we've got here. So this all, the tape just needs to be removed and then retaped remudded, retextured, and repainted. The part of the bedroom that where you would probably consider putting your bed is on this side, however, though once again we've got a lot of water staining and mold on the ceilings. This room part of the room is not quite as large, maybe a 16 by 18. It's still big enough for a king-size bed, though. Still big enough for a king-size bed. Some of the flooring has been taken out and some plywood has been put down in its place. The reason for that, I don't know, but I don't feel like this floor is level. And that might have something to do with the way the trim is, but it just doesn't feel level to me. I'm not nervous about it or anything, but you know, it looks like this slopes down from there to where this separation is. And that might be from water damage. We've got some more cracking in the walls here, as you can see, from settling. And this is, you know, this is a different kind of settling than what I saw below. This looks like something that it has to do with the way that this corner, whatever's underneath here, is supporting the upper story. So I think that there's some kind of an issue, because as you can see, it starts to bend down towards that corner. That's what happens. It's sloping down right here, starts to slope down towards that corner. We didn't see anything like that below us on the first floor. So that's something that's happening in the house between the first and the second floor, and probably has to do with whatever's underneath that corner there. So probably needs a little support work. This is not something that is unrepairable. A nice couple of jacks underneath and you know, someone that knows what they're doing could sort this out without too much issue. Alpha Foundations can do it. Also, if you look at this doorway, it's hard to see with the camera, but it is definitely not a square door. It is definitely not. It's definitely a crooked door. It is, you know, reminiscent of Beetlejuice and the doorways that you saw in that movie, if you ever saw it. The closet has debris from the outside. How that got in here, I don't know. You know, have to have an opening, but there is a lot of rot in the flooring here. There's a lot of rot in the flooring and in the walls. This lower bar is just a snap-on bar. It's a compression bar. So don't worry about any of that stuff. It's just, you know, temporary thing. The other bar is okay, but as we've been seeing a lot of the house, there is a fair amount of mold here, you know, and that's a big concern. Seeing as much mold as I'm seeing, I'd really be worried about how deep that stuff goes. They've done some patching on the walls to seal up some of the cracking, which also makes me wonder, you know, what we really have versus settling in this upper floor. I'm not seeing huge ones, but I see patches, right? And that also makes me nervous. We're not going to get out to the deck because, you know, once again, there isn't one right now. But, oh. And we'd have a couple of soft spots in the floor up here too. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, it's just like paper. It's just rotted right there. It's not big enough that my foot will go through, hopefully. But, you know, once again, anytime you see dry rot, that means that there's more going on underneath. So, that's the whole tour. My thoughts. This renovation is going to cost you $200,000. That's what I think. $200,000, and that's going to give you a house after your initial purchase that still has, you know, 6 figures worth of equity in it. If you wanted to go that way, you definitely need somebody who has experience dealing with the asbestos siding that we have on the outside. And you need a carpenter who would be able to match and rebuild things like the stair rail, the posts, so that it meets the historic architecture of this neighborhood as far as look and quality of materials go. Those guys are a little bit more expensive. The whole house flooring needs to be, you need to redeck the whole house. Really needs it. Somebody should go underneath and confirm the structural integrity of the floor joists and to make sure that there's no problems with that. There's a lot of room there, so that wouldn't be too hard. All the original door cases need to be reworked and doors installed. The large openings need to be reworked and the casings replaced. The kitchen needs to be redone as a little back pocket kitchen, completely. The yard, obviously you saw the condition of the grounds, so you need a landscape route to take care of that. And wow, My Fair Lady. That's just the music for the movie. And the front deck, the wraparound deck probably needs to be rebuilt and put back on as well. So outside, whole thing. Inside, pretty much the whole thing. Structure, probably okay. Maybe some minor stuff. But considering the age of the house, I'm actually very happy with what I saw as far as the structure. I am concerned a bit about what we saw upstairs in that one corner. But besides that, the house feels solid. There is some soft spots in the floors, but they were small. They weren't huge. And those are easily corrected. Usually. Not always, but usually easily corrected. So, Jay says $200,000 for the renovation. That's what I think. And it might be more than that, but I think 200. Hope that's helpful. Once again, we're 443 East 5th Street in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. A lovely, lovely day today, except it's freezing cold. And I hope this tour gave you the insights that you need to consider this home. If you're in the mood for a renovation, this is the right house for it. I have to tell you, listen, you're definitely going to walk away with equity in your pocket. You're going to, probably be putting 6 figures in your pocket after a renovation of this house, as long as you can get that done for around 200, because these are selling for 500,000 or 600,000 when they're completed. My only thing that we haven't been able to really discuss is the roof. And there's not a way for me to get up there and see it to know what's there. So this is really predicated on the condition of that roof and what kind of roof it is. If it needs to be redone, my recommendation is that you do not put down 3-tab roofing like what you have next door. Instead, you do something like the roof that you have here at the other side, this nice brand new metal roof, which will last eternally and is going to definitely add a value to the house that you would not get with that roof. Okay, any questions, please contact me. I'm always available to discuss this property or any other properties that are in the area. And I'm going to lock this up, and we'll see you at the next one.